guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a review on the new Kylie Kyshadow eye palette. This is their first eyeshadow palette and this is the bronze palette. I first of all was really excited that I even was able to get this product. I got it the first day that it launched and this item sold out in under 1 minute. That is super quick and somehow I managed to get one. So I'm really excited to be able to share this with you guys today and show you how it works and let you know my thoughts on it. So first of all, I am going to do the review and give you guys some swatches, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to have a tutorial on how I got this eye look using the Kyshadow palette. Alright, so first of all, when you get your package in the mail, it comes with this really cute little postcard that's holographic with Kylie's eyes, and when you move it back and forth, she winks, and then on the back, there's a little note that says, "I couldn't wait to share my new eyeshadows with you. I hope you adore them as much as I do. I love you." Very cute. I like that personal touch there. And then as you know, this is what the outside of the box looks like. So this is what the palette looks like. It's super, super cute with Kylie's eyes and the bronze teardrops. And then on the back, it has her signature and the names of all of the shades in the palette. This palette is a lot smaller in size than I thought it was going to be, especially for the price of $42. I don't know, I expected it to be a little bit bigger, but that's all right. So when you open it up, you'll have your plastic cover as always, and then it just says Kylie up here. There's no mirror in the palette, which isn't necessarily a deal breaker, but for the price, it is nice to have a mirror in it, that's for sure. Right, so you get 9 shadows in this palette. There are 2 shimmer shades and 7 matte shades. So let's get on into swatches. So this first one here, this is called Jasper. So this is just a matte cream shade. I do quite like this one. I feel like it's pretty soft and blendable and it is brightening. Moving on to the next shade here, this one is called Quartz. This is one of the shimmer shades. This one does not have very much color payoff and it's also not a very strong shimmer. I'm kind of used to more foiled shimmers these days. This one is a lot more subtle, but there is also not very much pigment. So if you're looking for something that is more foiled in the shimmers, you're not going to find it in this palette, unfortunately. Moving on to the next shade, we have Topaz right here. This shade I used for my crease shade. I found it very difficult to blend and it's a little bit crumbly. Somehow I didn't have any fallout while applying these shadows, which I'm kind of surprised about, but this is just kind of patchy and does not blend very easily. I do not like this shade. Moving on to the next shade, we have the other shimmer, which is called Goldstone. This shimmer does have quite a bit more pigment in it, and I do actually like this one. I feel like the shadow itself is more finely milled, it is softer, and it blends easier. Moving on to the next shade, we are going to Citrine. This shade is okay. It is a little bit chalky like Topaz was, a little bit more difficult to blend. I do love the shade of this though. The pigmentation is good. It's just a little bit harder to work with. Moving on to this next shade, this is Tiger Eye. This seems a little bit better for a crease shade than Topaz does. It's a little bit easier to blend. However, it's still kind of chalky and not the best. It's a little bit patchy still. Moving on to the next shade here, this is Hematite. This shade is quite a bit more pigmented. I do actually like this one. I feel like it is softer, more finely milled, and it does blend a lot easier than the other ones. Moving on to the next shade, this one is Bronzite. That one is pretty well pigmented as well. I do like it better than the other shadows that do not blend out. This one does seem to blend out a lot better than the others as well. And now moving on to the final shade here, this is Obsidian. that seems like a pretty good matte black shade. I feel like it has a good amount of pigment, and you can blend it out to smoke it out if you were to do a smoky eye with this one. So that one is pretty good as well. So overall, I do think it is pretty hit and miss on the shades here. I think I liked 5 out of the 9, and some of those were just kind of even maybes. So I do not really think it is worth the price of $42 for this palette. There are definitely other palettes out there with higher quality shadows in my opinion. I mean, this may work for other people. It may just be that it doesn't work for me, but I don't feel that it is worth it for the price. I feel like if you are a makeup collector like I am, or a fan of Kylie's, then it may be worth it for you. But if you're just looking for some everyday neutrals and some nice brown shades and that kind of thing, I think there are better options out there as far as affordability wise and blendability and pigmentation. Morphe is a brand that has great shadows. They're very creamy, very opaque, very blendable, and you can get an eyeshadow palette for half the price of this one and get many more shadows in your palette than this contains. So that would be something to look into if you're just looking for some nice neutrals and great quality shadows. So yeah, there are, like I said, about 5 shades that I do like in here. They do complete a nice look. I do like how it turned out. I just had to work with it quite a bit more. Like I said, I didn't get any fallout, but the blending process was a little more timely than I am used to and than I prefer. So overall, I'd say the palette is okay. I am a little disappointed with it as far as what I was expecting, and as far as the price, I would hope that the shadows were a little bit better, at least, you know, be more consistent in the formula. So yeah, if you would like to see how these shadows worked in action, then just keep on watching for the tutorial. Alright, so I have everything on except for my eye makeup, so I think first I'm going to go into this top shade here. This one is called Topaz. I'm going to use this for my crease shade. I'm just going to take a small crease brush here. This is the Glamour Dolls number 10 brush. I got this in one of my BoxyCharms and I absolutely love it. Rather than a larger bent blending brush, I feel like I can get a lot more control as to where the product is placed. So I'm just going to start to work that shade into my crease and go back into it to build it up. Alright, then I'm just going to go into my Sephora Color Switch by Veramona. I love using this when I'm doing my eyeshadow because I typically like to just use this one crease brush for a while. So this is nice for a quick cleanup. You just run it through the sponge here and it takes off any color that's left, and then you can move on to the next one. So I'm going to now go into this middle shade here. This is called Citrine. Going to just get a little bit of that on my brush, tap off any excess. I'm not sure how pigmented this will show up on my eye. And I'm going to focus this lower in my crease, as far down as I can, and not blend it up as high as I did the other shade. I'm going to keep it more towards the top of my lid here, just to bring some warmth into it. This shade I quite like, I think. The first one was a little bit hard to blend out. See how this blends. I feel like it's looking really patchy. It's not blending too well here. It's like I can't get this inner corner here to blend. It's just like dark color. Oh, I don't really like that. Just gonna go into more of that citrine. See if I can get this to work. Okay, think that's good for now. Now I'm going to move on to this warm shade down here. This is in the shade Hematite. I'm going to put a little bit on the tip. I'm going to focus this on the outer V of my lid here and just kind of bring that in to the outer edge of my lid here. And I'm going to sweep it up into the crease a little bit just to connect all the colors. Right, and then I'm going to go back into that original color and just blend all the lines together. Make sure there's no harsh lines up here. Windshield wiper motions will get you there. It just takes a little bit of time sometimes. Right, that's looking better. It just takes a little bit of working with these shadows to really get them to do what you want them to. Okay, and I'm going to build up that outer corner color again, Hematite. Alright, now I'm going to move on to the eyelid. I'm going to use the shimmer shadows for this. Let's see, so the first one I'm going to use is Goldstone, this one right here. I'm going to take a flat shader brush, this is by Sephora, and I'm going to focus this on the center part of my lid. It's a very subtle shimmer, but that makes it nice for every day, so it's not bad. That seemed to have some better pigment, at least right off the bat, compared to the other shades I used. Alright, since I focused that just on the center of my lid, I have some space in the inner corner for a lighter color. I'm going to use the other shimmer shadow in Quartz right there. And just focus that on the inner part. And then I'm going to go back into Goldstone and just blend that together there. Right, I'm now going to go back into Topaz and just do a little bit more blending at the top here. And then back into Hematite. And just make sure that that shows up a little bit as well. Alright, now I'm going to go into the Creme matte shade. This is called Jasper. And I'm going to use this as my brow bone highlight and inner corner highlight. This shade's pretty nice. It's actually quite brightening. Alright, and now for the lower lash line, I am going to take Citrine on a flat definer brush. And I'm going to just pack the color along the lower lash line. About 2/3 of the way up until that inner corner highlight there. Right, and then I'm going to do the same on my other eye. Alright, so the eyeshadow's on. Now I'm just going to use an eyeliner. This is from Colourpop. This is in the shade Get Paid. Just going to put this in my waterline. And then I'm going to curl my lashes and get ready for mascara. For mascara today, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Black Angel Miss Manga Mascara. This has been my favorite for probably about 2 months now. I've been loving it. Alright, that completes this look and review. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!